John and Heinz helped me. It's actually, once we got smart about it, it's actually I'll figure out where you're going to put it. So I extended it out where I wanted it. And then I swung it over here and you drop it down as low as you can. If I need to, the way it's split, if I extend that top called fly, so the top section of the ladder out, it'll tighten the flag up. So if it's not moving enough, I think somebody heard. I go, how's the other guy?
And we've passed out a few little ceremony announcements, kind of the order of the speakers and some of the things that will take place today. Just real quick housekeeping. There are public bathrooms up there on the end, and of course we have garbages on either side. Welcome. On behalf of the Harbormaster's office and the staff, full-time staff, John Rendon, Tom Telsmatic, Michelle Morris, and myself, Heinz Prof. Welcome. So I see some of our evening watchmen here as well, some of our other harbor masters, and of course our fire department. I mentioned the handouts. We have some speakers today. Just bear with us as we get through this. I will begin by introducing the chairman of our Board of Selectmen, Angela Lamantia, who on behalf of the selectmen is here, but the whole group of selectmen were integral in the process of acquiring this new vessel. So we'll ask for a few words from Angelo, and then we'll continue through our list of speakers, and the deacon will be here shortly. Like I said, thank you.
I got it. Thank you, Heinz. And I noticed he said a few words, so I will stick with a few words. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Selectmen, I would like to thank all of you for coming to this key waterways event. This christening is an appropriate way to start the incorporation of this new rescue boat in the life of the harbors. The Board of Selectmen, as Heinz mentioned, have been very supportive of making sure that in the interest of public safety, that the appropriate rescue equipment is available. We hope, of course, that the boat will never leave its current position or be used in a rescue attempt of any time. We'd rather have it spend its time performing very mundane waterway activities like moving moorings. But unfortunately, we all know that this will not be the case. So the boat is very, very important to all boaters and their families. The boat is also an important symbol. It's a symbol of the goals of the town of Harwich to make our waterways have the correct equipment and infrastructure. And it is also a symbol of the terrific level of cooperation between the fire department and the Harbormaster's departments in working together in the rescue area. It is significant today that one of the speakers is the fire chief. I think it emphasizes the cooperation level. I also review today as something different. I view it as a commencement. This is the beginning of making sure that our harbor infrastructure is of high quality and appropriate for the 21st century, and that the rescue operation is structured appropriately to help ensure the success of the rescue activities. You should know that there are many, many other projects on the Capital Outlay Committee's list, so there should be more and better infrastructure in the near future. Thank you. Heinz?
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce our fire chief, Norm Clark, who also was a big supporter and collaborated in the event in actually having this come to fruition here. And I'm sure he'll mention some words about the two departments and how we've worked together and provided public safety in and around the water. Thank you.
Thanks, Heinz. Thanks, John, for having us here today. This is a great day, and as a fire chief, little boy, I always wanted to be a fireman, and we all love new fire trucks. Well, I love new rescue boats, too. This is a real nice boat. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Harbormaster Rendon for his leadership in bringing this much-needed asset to Harwich, to bring an appropriate platform to better protect life and property on and around our waters. And I intentionally mention around our waters. Because it isn't as obvious as the benefit of a marine unit that can provide fire and rescue efforts to the many boats in and around our harbors, this boat has a shallow draft and can pump and will eventually provide substantial water flow to help protect a considerable real estate that is located on our shorelines that has poor access for our land-based apparatus to provide the needed fire flow and rescue capabilities. This was a collaborative effort between the Harbormaster and the fire department to design from the ground up the appropriate boat, keeping in mind the mission at hand and the cost of the project. Harbormaster Rendon comes to Harwich with great skills specifically related to public safety and welcomed and sought out that collaboration with the fire department. Specifically, Deputy Chief Kent Ferenkopf, who worked closely to help design this new boat with fire and rescue operations as a part of the mission intended for the boat. I thank both Deputy Ferenkopf and Harbormaster Rendon for a job well done on the design of the boat for our needs. This new boat represents a cost-effective, multi-mission marine platform that all public safety agencies can use under the management of the Harbormaster. John has completely bought into the concept of sharing town department assets. Our public safety team is that much stronger and effective under John's leadership. And with this new Marine unit, we have added a great tool to put in our public safety toolbox to better serve and protect all of our citizens and visitors. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to point out, it's an optical illusion that their flag is actually bigger than the boat. Next, I'd like to introduce our newest member of the Harbormaster Department, John Rendon, who saw this boat from inception to its floating before you here today. So I'd like to introduce John Rendon, our Harbormaster.
All right, well, thanks for being here with us today. It is kind of a neat occasion to have, and not one that happens very often, getting a new boat. So I wanted to do it right, and have it christened and having it blessed, and before we put this thing into service. Although I must say, we've already put it into service. Since it arrived last week, we've already had 3 cases where we've used this resource, 2 of which were jointly conducted by the Harbormaster Department and the Fire Department. One pretty significant case happened just yesterday. Got a report. There was a gentleman on a boat off Allen Harbor who they thought had a stroke, weren't sure. We weren't sure whether he was conscious at the time or not. And so we got the call and we jointly responded to the scene with our new boat, with fire on board. When we arrived, he was provided care. We towed the boat in to Allen Harbor to a waiting ambulance, and he was properly treated and taken to the hospital. So, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to work. And I just look forward. We have a great resource here now. And I just look forward to that type of relationship as we move on. Within our 3 harbors in the Herring River here, we have about 400 boat slips, private and public. We have over 600 moorings. We have passenger boats and charter boats that carry hundreds of people on our waters here within Harwich every day. We have a year-round commercial fishing fleet. We have a huge transient clientele that come and go to pull in for lunch or pull in for a few nights all throughout the year, throughout the season. Hundreds of boats use our public boat ramps coming and going every day. And we have, 11 miles of coastline in Harwich where thousands of people are swimming in our waters every day. That's something that is significant. A lot of people in our waters, and It's why we take public safety, maritime safety so serious. You know, Harwich has a very active and vibrant maritime community here, and it has a rich tradition of maritime. And as such, because of that activity, we need to be responsive, we need to be trained and capable, and we need to be coordinated. And I call that operational readiness. Those people who have worked with me before, Stu is in the audience here, that's the focus, operational readiness. That's why we have our new resource, so that we are trained and prepared, and that's on us. That's a personal commitment that we have to be trained, to do training every week jointly with all of our partners, and equipment ready. And now we are equipment ready. We have a resource here that can cover every area of our AOR, even the shallows along the coastline. We have a resource here that we can very effectively and efficiently pull a drowning victim out of the water or unconscious victim out of the water. We have a very quick response boat here now, that we can quickly get to the scene of a medical case, somebody who's either got an injury, similar to what we did yesterday. We have a boat that's got state-of-the-art electronics, making it safer for the operators who have to go out at night, sometimes in the fog, to respond to a maritime emergency. We have certainly improved our operational readiness here in the town of Harwich. No question about it. And it goes beyond that, though. You've heard me talk about partners. We've got the Chatham Harbormaster here. We've got the Orleans Harbormaster here. Terry Clem from Dennis showed up yesterday to pay his regards and take a look at the boat. You know, maritime emergencies, there are no borders. You know, you have a maritime emergency, you know, you send every available, capable resource to the scene. And it's a regional response, and that's the way it should work. And so, again, I say that this new cutter paid, this new patrol boat here, paid for by the Harwich taxpayers, is much appreciated and will certainly benefit the town of Harwich, but it goes beyond that. It benefits all our entire region, our neighboring towns. Very few towns have firefighting capability. We have it, and we have it significantly here. When we get this pump on board, 500 gallons per minute, that's a lot of firefighting water, capable of spraying water and foam on a fire, either a boat fire, infrastructure fire, docks, like Chief said. It's a huge capability that we now have. So I just want to close by, one, again, thanking the town of Harwich, who supported our efforts here to purchase a new, very capable boat. I want to thank the Board of Selectmen, the Finance Committee, the Capital Outlay Committee, the Town Administrator, all who had an opportunity to say, you know, this is not a priority, we don't have the money, fiscal times aren't good right now, but they didn't. They supported us in our efforts, they trusted us in our efforts to spend the money wisely, and I, as the Harbor Master, sincerely thank you for that. The Waterways Committee, Chairman Matt Hart, we have a terrific relationship. They have been very supportive in everything that I've done in the year that I've been here, and I want to personally thank all of those members for your support. And lastly, my staff, who I have a small staff, it's not real big, but a very, very capable staff. Both my full-time guys and my seasonal guys and my evening guys. You know, I've gotten here and I'm not one to just kind of do nothing. You know, I've made a lot of change. Some you see, some you don't. And they've put up with me, and because you know, they've been doing certain things the same way a long time and very effectively, and then I come in and make change. And I just want them to know that I very much appreciate the support they've given me as we've moved forward. So thank you, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, John. A lot of people have been asking, what's the name of the boat? The leading candidate seems to be the new boat, but I think we're going to use Marine 77. So if you read about Marine 77 in the newspaper or hear about it, that's the vessel we're talking about. I'd like to now introduce Deacon Foley, who's going to help us with the blessing, and I think blessing of boats go all the way back to Noah christening the ark, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd like to thank the harbor master for inviting me. I'm honored and privileged to be here today, not as a deacon, but as a Harwich resident of almost 30 years. Today is an incredible outpouring of our community. It's our public servants, our harbor master, our police and our fire. It's our elected officials as well. It's all of our volunteers that run this town and our surrounding towns that are here with us to share in this. So that is probably the greatest blessing we have, is our community. But I am here to bless the boat today. And ironic that we're in water, and when this is all finished today, I will actually sprinkle holy water on the boat. So it will be wet underneath and on top. I'd ask you to bow your heads, please. God of boundless love, at the beginning of creation, your spirit hovered over the deep. You called forth every creature, and the seas teemed with life. Through your Son, Jesus Christ, you have given us the rich harvest of salvation. Bless this boat, its equipment, and all the men who will use it. Protect them from the dangers of wind and rain, and all the perils of the deep. May Christ, who calmed the storm and filled the nets of his disciples, bring us all to the harbor of light and peace. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
It's at this point in the program, and we're going to have Clem Casurgis be the christener of our craft. He is unable to make it. He apologizes. He attempted at the last moment to do this, but him not being here doesn't take away from the significance of Clem being chosen as the person that we wanted to fittingly christen Marine 77. Clem is our longest standing, most experienced slip holder in Saquatucket. Captain Clem was here in 1970 as the harbor was being dredged. Some reports he actually drew it on a napkin. I don't know about that. But his boat down there at the end is the blue one, named Yankee. It's been on the part of the Saquatucket Harbor landscape since the beginning. Clem was pleasantly surprised and mentioned that back then fuel was 19 cents a gallon, and a 5-hour trip on the Yankee was $7. I actually have one of these little brochures talks about $7 for a 5-hour trip. He's not here today. I think we might make copies of these and maybe have like throwback weekend and show up with these at his little counter. Talks about catching cod and haddock, pollock, and flounder. Today he's catching scup, sea bass, tautog, and flute. Clem is here during the week. He's here on the weekends. He's experienced all the changes that have taken place here at Saquatucket. It was only fitting that he would be here for also the newest change, Marine 77. That would have been added to his resume. So the fact that Clem's not here doesn't take away from the importance of today. And also in true maritime tradition, we've asked the Fair Lady of the Seas to actually christen our ship. Our executive assistant of nearly 10 years, Michelle Morris, who's done wonders here at the harbor. She's part of the reason all this looks organized and in shape. So much goes on beyond, the seas, but inside that office and that door, she's responsible for a lot of that. Many of our customers know Saquatucket through Michelle as the contact and getting everything accomplished through her. And certainly John and myself and Tom Telsmedic and all our staff rely heavily on Michelle's guiding hand in the office, so I thank you. So we're at the point where we're going to christen this boat. I'm going to ask Michelle to come on down. We've got some champagne here, and we'll pour it on the bow.
Pour it all. There's a sip for yourself.
Much. Myself, Michelle, Tom, if you have any questions, there's some information on that sheet. Glad to talk to you a little bit more about the boat. Thank you all for coming. It's a big special day, and I appreciate that the weather held off. Thank you, and God bless.